Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mic Check Take Two podcast brought to you by the Inside Edge Network. I am your host, the DAVID, the real Ruiz, and to my right, as always, we have everyone's favorite season, Autumn. How are you tonight, Autumn?
I'm a little sick, as everybody can tell.
Good. Just a thumbs up. That's all we got.
No, a little sick.
Just a little bit. When did it start?
Last Saturday. So it's been about a week.
Last Saturday.
Yeah.
Is it like allergies or what's going on?
It's stress induced.
Just sick?
It's always stress induced sickness.
Well, that's what the sports world does to you. Especially after this NFL free agency we've seen so far.
I don't think we should start off with free agency. I think we need to start off with the biggest story.
What's the biggest story? What's the biggest story, Autumn?
Bam Adebayo scoring 83 points against the Washington Wizards. Do you want me to give you the stats on how he scored them 83 points?
Go ahead. Go ahead. You can tell me how you feel about it. Then I will elaborate how I feel about it.
Yeah, he went 20 of 43 from the field goal. So that means that was his actual shots like that he took. 7 of 22 from 3-point, and then a whopping 36 of 43 from the free throw line. 83 points is a lot. And I've seen a lot of commentary on how did he do that? This is embarrassing for the game of basketball. And I was like trying to think of like, why was it embarrassing for the game of basketball? And then I went back and watched. That last quarter that he kept scoring is why I think a lot of people are mad at Bam and mad at the situation. It's not that he got 83. That's just a feat. It's the way he got the 83. It's the quadruple teaming. It's the fouls. It's the fact that the game, it wasn't like the Kobe 81 where Kobe was single-handedly trying to bring his team back. It's mainly the fact that it was just kind of the antithesis of the modern day NBA, I would say. And I think it's kind of embarrassing a little bit. Because you have this guy do something that hasn't been done in literally 20 years. Literally 20 years hasn't been done. And instead of celebrating it, we're all nitpicking it and saying, well, does this have an asterisk? And does this? And it's like, can we just celebrate that he got 83? We know he's not a player that should have gotten 83. We all know his talent. We all know his ceiling. Just let him have his 83 and moved on. I mean, his next game, he literally shit the bed. Like, I'm not even going to lie. He literally shit the bed.
Do you know his stats from the following game?
I know one of them, I think it was like 0 for 6 from 3. I think I can find it. Hold on.
Look,
2.2 seconds. Give me.
All right. I'll give you the 2.2 seconds while you need. Everybody play the Jeopardy song for Autumn while she looks up this stat. Look, I have a lot to say about this, and I disagree with a lot of people. Per usual, you know how I am, Autumn. The first thing I want to bring up, a lot of people are giving him, like, trying to discredit him. They're like, it's against the Wizards. They're a horrible team. I just want to bring up Wilt Chamberlain when he scored 100 points. There were 9 teams in the NBA. He did it against the 9th ranked defense. The man was playing against your local paperboy, plumbers, and gardeners. Like Kobe, when he had his 81, he was trying to come back, but that was a struggling game. Again, that team Kobe was facing was ranked 29th in defense out of 30. So people are bringing up like the defensive matter. None of the other teams were good at playing great defense. Bam had a interview where they asked him, there was 9 minutes left in the game. Why, if you can't chase greatness, why play the game of basketball? People can be as mad as they want on how he did it, but unfortunately, I hate to break the news to everyone, he broke your hero's record. And if your hero was still alive today, people wouldn't be talking about it. What would Kobe say to Bam in that situation? Go get it, young fella. Go break the record. Did you find the stats yet?
Almost. I do think one of the more insulting things is people saying, well, if Kobe was still alive, he would have told Bam, well, get out the game. Do you know who Kobe Bryant is?
No.
This is a man who literally punched one of his teammates in the face. Like, this was a
Mama
man
mentality.
who literally, his team performed so badly and they were all wearing his shoes that he gathered all the shoes and threw them in the trash. He would not have cared if somebody broke that record. I think what's the part that everybody is like still harping on is that it's unethical. Like, it's an unethical way to get it because it's the end of the game, it's the free throws, it's the constant fouling, it's the Washington Wizards knew if they kept it was just like, I think that part is where a lot of people are like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get how I get it. I saw a lot of commentators that was very salty. They were very salty.
I saw a lot of head coaches. I'm not going to butcher his name. I know the head coach.
Ime Udoka.
Yeah, Ime Udoka was upset. Even Los Angeles Lakers, JJ Redick had some things to say. At the end of the day, the man had, 70 after 3 quarters? And the Wizards coach didn't start double teaming him until the game was almost over. On top of that, they want to talk about the free throws. It's not his fault they were fouling him, first of all. That has nothing to do with him. Second of all, how many and ones did he have that game? I wish I had the stat pulled up. He had so many and one. They couldn't close out. They tried to close out. They couldn't get past the screens. They were jumping in the air. It wasn't working. Sometimes a player has the hot hand and you feed it. And shout out to Eric Spoelstra for not taking him out of the game, to allow him to achieve this greatness. It doesn't matter how he did it. People can be as salty as they want. They can be as mad as they want. But guess what? Kobe is now number 3. And there's nothing none of them can do about it.
I think the crash out over the Kobe of it all is where I'm like, you guys are kind of embarrassing. I'm like, that's just embarrassing. Like, that's when I say the hero worship goes like too far, as in like this man, I get it. His legacy will be forever cemented as this guy who did this thing. And even with Will Chamberlain, I see people kind of constantly shit on Will Chamberlain and say there's no way you could score 100 points. Guys, he was scoring 100 points when the NBA had 9 teams and half the dudes were white, and in the off season they would be plumbers. Like, yeah, it's pretty possible.
It's pretty possible. We've seen Candace Parker score 100 points and after Will Chamberlain. Yeah, it wasn't. It was high school or college. She scored the 100.
But you're thinking of Cheryl Miller.
Cheryl Miller, not Candace Parker. Yeah. Cheryl Miller, Reggie Miller's sister. Sorry about that.
Yeah, she scored 100 points when she was in high school. Because I think it was a game that Reggie was like, "Oh, I had 60," and Cheryl had 105 points, and this was in the 80s.
Exactly. Yeah, that was in the 80s. Given you can say, "Oh, but that was high school." Will Chamberlain was playing basically against those high school players when he scored his 100. So I don't see what the issue is. It's the same knock with all the free throws they try to give Shy. When they say if he doesn't get fouled, he's not scoring. They foul him because they can't stop him. There's a huge difference. Being able to draw a foul in the modern NBA is an art, and people got to get used to it. It's what we're going into. We've seen the game change a lot of different ways throughout the years with Steph Curry and the 3 ball, with Allen Iverson, with the ISO and the ball handling. Unfortunately, we're going to see a lot more of these players capable of doing the art of drawing fouls. And I know a lot of people from the night. Go ahead.
No, I found that he only scored 21 points the game after, which was either last night or the night before. Which, okay, I understand it. But no, like, to your point, a lot of the guys that were mad were the 90s, early 2000s. Now, look, I also think that the way basketball played today is kind of gross. I hate offensive basketball. Give me a fight. I thought the score was gross, 150 to 130. Ugh, like make my stomach hurt. But at the same time, there are certain people who like it. Just put up with it. Like he scored 83. Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, like what are you gonna do if it's a high scoring game? People complain. If it's a defensive game, they say all these guys are trash. What's wrong with them? Either way, it's a lose-lose situation for these talent on these teams, because if you see a close, low-scoring game, you're like, what's wrong with these guys? They're supposed to be superstars. They're supposed to be able to score on anyone. Now you look at someone score 83 and it's a big deal. Like, no, it's not a big deal. Everyone's just salty. People like JJ Redick are salty. And a lot of the former basketball players that are so mad would never have the opportunity. They've never even been close to surpassing those records. You're just upset it was him and not you.
Yeah, it's just the whole basketball purist, and I hate basketball purists. I hate that term, and I think a lot of these head coaches who used to be players are the purists of the game. Of like, well, after a while, I would have taken myself out the game. No, you wouldn't have.
No, you wouldn't have.
JJ Redick, come on.
Yeah,
JJ,
no,
you would have. JJ, like, I feel like JJ is one of those players that he shoots until he would shoot until he couldn't shoot no more. He was like white Steph Curry. For real. He was Steph Curry before it was Steph Curry. Like, he was one of those players of like, I'm gonna just shoot just to shoot. And I think if you had the opportunity to score 83, you probably would. But I think that's the other thing, is that it's the opportunity. And like I said, it was who it was against.
Yep.
It's the Wizards. It's a terrible team.
Yeah, but every other high scoring game like that have been against terrible teams. They've all been against terrible teams. And Kobe's game was close. You should be giving Bam a higher accolade because Kobe was struggling. He was struggling. The Heat weren't struggling. It was close maybe in that first half. I think it was like a 7-point deficit or something. Then they're like, oh, Bam's hot. Feed the hot hand. Let him score. Let him dominate. And that's what they continue to do. And people can be upset. They should have made adjustments. This is on the Washington Wizards if it's on anyone.
Oh, it really is 100% on the Washington Wizards. They are an embarrassment of a team. They've been an embarrassment of a team for a really long time. And it's like, to the fact that it took you so long, a player having 70 through the first 3 quarters didn't tell you, maybe we should double team him. No, it was the 30 in the first that would have been like, maybe we should double team him. But you waited till the 3rd quarter. And then once that was happening, you quadruple team him, which is going to make it 20 times higher that he's going to draw a foul. They're an embarrassing team.
You even had players. This was a little while back. Michael Beasley had an interview, and Michael Beasley, self-proclaimed like never lost one-on-one resume.
Yeah,
he said people don't understand, and this was before this. They don't understand how good Bam is. Bam is the only person to beat him one-on-one. Whether we believe that's neither here or there. But it's known throughout the basketball community that Michael Beasley never lost a one-on-one game. And the person he lost a one-on-one game to just so happens to be the person to score 83 and break Kobe's record. That doesn't sound too far-fetched to me. That doesn't sound crazy.
Look, I'm going to say this. I listened to a Miami-based podcast for a very long time. I know Bam is good. Bam has the he's kind of been in that middle part of like, you're good, but you can be great. And when you are great, you are dominant. And I think he's at the point now where it's like, okay, I can be great, but he has to be more consistent. I think that's where a lot of people are also frustrated at. It's like, yeah, he's great, but he's not consistent at being great.
But that's kind of, it's tough.
That's the biggest knock against him, is that he's great, but it's not consistent great. I mean, it's just
he's been playing well all season long.
He has, because he's had no choice to. He doesn't have the Jimmy Butler. Tyler Hero constantly is up and down. He doesn't really have anybody outside of that to really like be a sort of a facilitator. Right. He has to now be the facilitator. So yes, he is doing much better this season. But the biggest knock on him is that he has the potential to be great. He just has not been displaying that greatness. And I'm like, okay, we see him taking that step. But I think the other drawback of this game and him scoring 83 points is that now everybody's going to expect that greatness. And when he's not great, they're going to be like, well, look at what you did in this game. You scored the second most points in the league. We know you can do it. Why aren't you doing it? So it's going to be a double-edged sword of like, we know he can be great, but now everybody's going to question his greatness.
He's been consistently scoring 20 points for a while now. I mean, everybody's not gonna be like shy and score 127 straight games with 20 plus points. Everyone's not gonna be like that. You're gonna have some off nights, but this season specifically, more than not, he's putting up numbers. He needs a better supporting cast from the Miami Heat. They need to have a fire sale with everybody else and build around Bam. Because he's their future. If not, blow it up. Because you have to build around him now.
Honestly, the Miami Heat's biggest thing is that Pat Riley is older and he's so set in his ways that he could have had a team built around Bam. He should have had a team built around Bam years ago, but he's was stuck with that Jimmy Butler contract. He's tried to make it work with Tyler Hero, and he's missed out on every big free agent. And it's not like free agents don't want to go there, but you have to also think about this. The Miami Heat are known to have the world's strictest, like the league's strictest conditioning policy. Like players have talked about it for years, how the conditioning that they went through with the Miami Heat was they were in the best shape of their life, but it was the hardest to condition. You have a GM who is in constant control. Like we know Pat Riley wants to be in control. He was a coach. He's always kind of been that way. And you have the fact that you have a head coach who is good, but he is not. How do I say this? Spoelstra is a Hall of Fame head coach who has mismanaged players for the last 10 plus years. They should have way more championships. They should have way more accolades.
Well, how should they have way more championships?
They've been to the championship twice. They literally went through the bubble year and they had a strong chance to win it that year. They could have won it that year, and they went to the championship a couple years ago. They should have won it then.
Who did they lose to in the bubble year? Who was that? Oh yeah, LeBron James. And
they could have won that bubble championship.
No, absolutely not. LeBron James, empty gym. That Los Angeles Lakers team was full of stars. Whether they were in their prime, past their prime. Those stars, we had PJ Washington or PJ Walker and the Indiana scoring 40 points a game for the Pacers during that bubble playoff series and that bubble season.
We're not going to keep going. We're not going to keep going on bubble seasons. I'm just saying
because you're not going to say the Miami Heat should have won when they faced the greatest basketball player of all time.
Oh my God.
That's nonsense.
Well, we could talk about that. We could talk about the fact that they only won 2 championships during his run, and they should have won not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. All of them championships that they should have won.
You sound like a bitter Cleveland fan now. You sound like you're still upset he left for Miami. That's what you sound like. That's what everyone talk about.
But if you put it out there, that you should win 8 championships, why didn't you win 8 championships? And we're not going to do that. You're not going to raise my blood pressure. No. I'm already not feeling that well.
I'm not purposely doing it.
I'm just saying.
A good argument. It just raises naturally.
I'm just saying, Miami Heat should be in a better position with better players.
Who do they? Wait. No. Wait. Who did they face in that following championship that they went to? They faced the MVP. They faced Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. Come on
Let me tell you
now.
right now. This is a team I was honestly no. Let's talk about it because I was listening to Miami Heat radio at that time. When I tell you that team should have, first of all, the team shouldn't even have been there. They somehow lucked up and beat the number one seed. Then they beat the number 2 seed in the conference semifinals, and they should have actually made it a better series. But once again, Jimmy Butler gets hurt. Players get mismanaged. I'm not saying that they're not a great team. I'm not saying that Eric Spoelstra is not a great coach, but he has a track record of mismanaging players to not get their full potential.
I don't know about that. I think that's highly, highly debatable. Like who'd he mismanage in that championship series against the Denver and against the Lakers? You just said Jimmy was hurt. How can you mismanage someone that's playing with an injury? You're gonna have to pull him out of the game more.
David, we're not gonna do this. Okay.
Am I wrong?
We're not
Am I
gonna
wrong?
do this.
Or if the player wants to play it, you play your superstars, right?
I'm going to tell you that like this though. I've been dialed in on Miami Heat basketball for the last few years. This team should be much deeper. They should have much more everything. Bam
with
should
what
have
supporting cast.
That's the problem.
But that's not Eric Spoelstra's fault. Not having the talent on his team.
He's a part of the front office, yes, and he hasn't gotten the most potential out of his players. We're not going to do this.
What if I feel like the potential has been capped for those players. It's not that he's not bringing out the most. I feel like they've hit their ceiling already.
So, no, I don't think they've hit their ceiling. I think that a lot of them have.
Like who? Like besides Bam, for the obvious reasons.
You can say Tyler. You can say Tyler Hero.
He's hit his ceiling. He's not as good as I think you think. He's not that good.
Think about this. He had pre-injury Max Strus. Max Strus, they thought he hit his ceiling. They let him go. And look at what he did his first 2 years in Cleveland. If injuries be damn.
If he what in Cleveland? Miss shots in big games? Just like he did in Miami? I'm ready to get rid of Max Strus because he barely plays anyway. And then when he does plays during the regular season, sure, he'll heat up at a game or two at a time. But once it comes to those big games, he misses all wide open shots. Oh, Max Strus in the corner, Donovan dishes it. What happens? Against the Knicks a couple years ago? What kind of factor was Max Strus against the Knicks when we got eliminated?
My head hurt. Like I said, injuries be damned. See, this is where I know you don't listen to me. I said injuries be damned.
I listen to you. But you're saying
you don't
Max
listen
Strus.
to me.
No, you're saying Max Strus.
I said multiple players. I didn't just say Tyler. Bam clearly hasn't hit his ceiling. We know he hasn't hit his ceiling. Like I said, Eric Spoelstra has a long history of mismanaging players. And let's move on from this Bam conversation because I hate it. It's making me mad.
You're turning red. I can see it. You've changed colors.
Okay.
There's a little bit of sweat trickling down the bandana.
Let's move on.
What do you want to move on to, Autumn? Do we talk about what I try to start the show with now?
Let's quickly hit up the Oralist United States baseball team in the World Baseball Classic. I'm bored of them. They're not fun. They're not interesting. They're the most loser ass team we've ever had. Saluting to each other in the outfield. While you got the Dominican Republic and Korea and Venezuela and Puerto Rico and all these different other countries, and I'm like, wow. I just know you guys enjoy playing baseball. I can see it. You love it. And then I got this team right here full of just oralist losers who just wants to but
you just saluted. You called them an oralist loser and kind of aura farmed without trying. You saluted.
They're just like, they make me mad because I'm like, you got guys who keep saying, "Oh, certain players, they're playing games the right way, and not like the other teams." And it's like, well, what are the other teams doing? The other teams, look like they're having fun, and they've been playing together, most of them, for years.
The only thing I saw, I don't follow the World Baseball Classic as much as you. The last thing I saw was America losing to Italy, and
which is really bad.
Is really Italy bad. Like some kind of powerhouse right now?
No.
What's going on?
No. So let me explain this. So the United States are in jeopardy of being ousted from the World Baseball Classic. So let me explain this whole World Baseball Classic to you. So each team is in a pool of like different rounds. So there's a pool A, pool B, pool C. And then there's a winner of pool A, and there's a winner of pool B and all that stuff. And then there's a runner up. So Italy won pool B, which the United States was in. So that means if they win, they can move on to the semifinals. If the United States loses, they could be ousted from the tournament. The United States has been in the finals of the World Baseball Classic, I'm pretty sure, every single year, and won it, not this past one, but the one before that.
Right.
So for them to be on the verge of being ousted from the World Baseball Classic and for it to be America's pastime would be one of the single most embarrassing things to ever happen. And then Mark DeRosa, who is the manager for the United States, came out and said, I didn't even know we had the ability to be knocked out of the quarterfinals. He didn't even know. So it's quite embarrassing if this team loses to Canada. So you have 4 games over the next 2 days. Tonight it's going to be Korea and the Dominican Republic, United States and Canada. And then tomorrow it's going to be Puerto Rico versus Italy and Venezuela versus Japan. All of those teams are probably the best teams in the world. Korea, Dominican Republic, United States, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Japan. Italy is right on the edge, right on the verge, right on the bubble. Outside of them, like you had Cuba, Panama, Colombia, Great Britain, Brazil, all these different teams that are also really good, but they're not as good as the teams that are left. If the United States does make to the semifinals round, you want them to play a Dominican Republic or a Korea or a team that they can win against. You do not, under any circumstances, want to place them against Japan. Japan is a team that they lost to in the finals last time 4 years ago. So it's just, I actually don't like the World Baseball Classic. I think it's kind of stupid. It's not anything that makes me be like, oh yay! It's not even like it's not an Olympics. It's not a World Cup. It just exists.
Okay,
that's it.
See, I was always curious because I know you're the baseball girl. So I was always curious on what your take for the World Baseball Classic was.
Well, this is my biggest gripe is that it's too long. It's too long in between years.
Well, what is it?
It's every 4 to 6 years.
Okay.
So the last one was 4 years ago. Before that, the last one was 6 years before that. It's like it flip-flops every 4 to 6 years. So I'm like, first of all, it's such a long in between time. Second of all, it's not played in the off season. It's literally played in the middle of spring training. So there are players that will leave your team in the middle of spring training to play in an exhibition tournament. Like, again, there's no money involved. There's nothing involved that's like, it's not like the Olympics where the Olympics you have a monetary gain where you can like, it's nothing really involved. There is monetary gain in the Olympics.
To an extent, depending on maybe for baseball, but I know in boxing there's no real monetary gain for
no. It depends on the sport, but it's also, like I said, it's in the middle of spring training. So I remember, I think this was a long time ago. It wasn't this one. It was like a couple one previous. Half of the Guardians left for the World Baseball Classic, and half of them got hurt because they played in the World Baseball Classic. And I'm like, oh My God. So I really don't enjoy it. I don't think it's a great tournament. I think the MLB just doesn't know how to market it. I think putting it in the middle of spring training is really stupid. I'm like, put it either in the middle of the season, like they did with Four Nations and hockey,
Well,
or at the end of the season.
Is it the MLB that does the World Baseball Classic, or is it the World?
Yes, it is.
It's
Nope,
the
it is
MLB.
Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that.
Yep, Major League Baseball puts it on.
Who are the biggest stars playing in the Classic right now?
Well, you have Shohei Ohtani.
Well, that's Japan. What about America though?
I think it's Aaron Judge, Paul Skeens. What's the pitcher from Detroit? Forgot his name. Oh my God!
You're the baseball girl. I was just curious because I know there's a bunch of players from all across the MLB playing in this tournament, and it's really hard because you think America when you think MLB, but almost 90% of the players aren't American. So I was just curious.
The most famous baseball player in the world is Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, of course.
He is Japanese
the best baseball player in the world.
And literally, Major League Baseball has no clue what to do with him. Has no clue how to market him. Has no clue. Like Japan, you go to Japan, you go any Asian country, everybody knows who he is. America, nothing.
They kind of had to throw some heat off of him because the only thing Americans knew him for a while was his agent gambling on his games. So
yeah, I still don't believe that. But David, before we move on to our next topic,
what is it?
I wanted to remind us that we are on Inside Edge Network. Inside Edge Network.
The Inside Edge?
YouTube. Yes, the Inside Edge. We're on YouTube, Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. Facebook. You name it, we're there. Also, we do have a network sponsor. Alley Rose Fragrances. Use the code Inside Edge Net 20 or Inside Edge 20. I keep forgetting which one. But Inside Edge 20, I think, is the right one. I'm positive. I'm positive. I'm thinking of it. Inside Edge Net 20. Use it for 20% off. It can be stacked. You can go get Bree something. Get Bree some nice candles, some nice fragrances. It's
why would I get Bree candles? I love candles.
Get some for yourself.
I'll get some for me. What do you mean?
Some.
You say men can't have candles?
I'm not saying that. See, you're putting words in my mouth.
Why did you say I should buy myself some candles?
Words in my mouth. I'm trying to get you to do something nice for your girlfriend. Damn.
She's all right. I do nice stuff for her all the time. Maybe I want the rooms to smell good, okay?
Okay, then get yourself some candles. But use the code Inside Edge Net 20 on AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Now, we can move on.
Can we move on?
Yes, we can move on.
Are we allowed now to talk about what I've been going
Yes, let's talk about the hot ass mess of a trade, free agency, release schedule. I don't even know what's happening in this league.
What do you mean? It's the NFL.
Because how does Tua Tagovailoa get released and give the Dolphins the biggest cap hit in franchise history at almost $100 million, and then the Atlanta Falcons and Kevin Stefanski decide, a guy with mush for brains, let me have him, give him here.
Hey, he's going to be playing on a good team finally. So you say, how did Tua get released? Tua didn't choose to get released. They released that man because of the CTE generating in his head from all the concussions.
I want you to be for real. The Atlanta Falcons, somehow, some way, signed Kirk Cousins to an astronomical deal that I don't even understand how he got. Then you draft Michael Penix. Michael Penix should be your future, but you draft him the same year you sign Kirk Cousins. After you tell Kirk Cousins he's going to be your number one. You also in that same year,
Kirk Cousins was the number one.
You also have the chance to get Bill Belichick to be your head coach. And Bill Belichick really, really wanted to be your head coach. But you decide, nah, don't want to be. No, I'm good. Deuces. Did you not know about that?
I knew about that. I just want to hear what you're going to say next. Because I know your feelings on Bill Belichick. So why would you want him to coach in the NFL is the question.
Kirk Cousins is like, nah, we're not that good. So you put in Michael Penix Jr. and it's like, okay, great. So then you fire your head coach. You restructure Kirk Cousins' contract, even though there have been trade rumors galore, and he probably should be traded or released. And you pick up Tua Tagovailoa.
I thought I read that they released him.
Did they release him finally?
Let me double check. Keep going.
But then you pick up Tua Tagovailoa, who we saw him his last 2 years in Miami, and we saw that he was definitely the problem in Miami.
To what extent? Because I feel like he played really well when he was healthy. Am I wrong?
He could only beat bad teams, and he couldn't play in the cold weather. He could only beat bad teams, and he could only play in the cold. He couldn't play in the cold weather. His last 2 years in Miami.
Yeah. By the way, they did release Kirk Cousins on the 11th.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, they did release Kirk Cousins, but you pick up Tua Tagovailoa, who we saw him the last couple of years. His last year in Miami, his teammates came out and was like, "Yeah, something's wrong with him," because his head coach had to come out and say, "I don't understand why he's making all these different things."
He doesn't understand it, but there's a reason the head coach was fired. If it was all Tua's fault,
yes, the head coach who was fired
wouldn't have been fired.
McDaniels shouldn't have actually been fired. McDaniels actually did a damn good job.
You know what?
Towards the end of the season,
look what he
managed that situation.
Look what he did to Tua. Get him out of there, so the next quarterback doesn't have to go to the hospital like him.
Tua is going to be known as a coach killer. He got not one but two coaches fired. One of the coaches literally was correct about him that he didn't have that much potential. He was an injury liability risk. His brain is turning to mush because he constantly puts himself in a dangerous predicament by leading head first. Why would you sign that person?
Why not? They're getting him for basically nothing.
Anyway.
And they have two left-handed quarterbacks, right? What's the biggest story?
That would be Max Crosby. I have never seen what happened with that.
I've honestly actually seen it.
Low-key kind of hilarious because that's why you don't jump the gun and make all your socials Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. I heard he was in the building when they signed Trey Hendrickson. So but the Baltimore Ravens have a track record of doing this when players don't pass their physicals, allegedly. They did it back in 2017 when they tried to trade for Jay Ajayi from the Philadelphia Eagles. They backed out then because they had questions about his knee.
Yeah, okay, so let me explain this for anybody who doesn't know. So Max Crosby of the Las Vegas Raiders, he has made it very known that he does not want to be a Las Vegas Raider anymore. That is very clear. He did not want to be on that team anymore. So he had some trade destinations. Two teams came through that really were going to give the Raiders what they wanted. You had the Ravens and you had the Cowboys. So the Ravens were offering 2 firsts and the Cowboys were offering the first and the second. The Raiders were like, let's go with the Ravens. They trade him last weekend. I think it was literally right after we got off the show.
Literally, as soon as we got off, I was actually kind of pissed off because I was like, why couldn't we have this breaking news? As soon as I got off, I saw that he was traded.
So he was traded to the Ravens. He changes all of his socials to Ravens. He's excited. He does the typical love you Las Vegas, but it's time for me to move on, like all that stuff. He then goes to Baltimore. I think this happened Monday. He goes there Monday. He gets the physical. Baltimore looks at his knee and is like, yeah, no, we can't do this. Backs out of the trade, and then the Raiders release a statement that said Max Crosby will not be traded to the Ravens. They have backed out of their trade. We don't have any more questions at this time. And then they sign another player for the same position in Trey Hendrickson.
I heard they had plans to sign them both. I really do feel like they had plans to sign them both because can you imagine Could you imagine that defense with both of them? It would have been absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, it would have been
And I
nuts.
truly believe that was the plan. I got to double check the cap space, but I read a couple of reports stating that they had that plan. But when his physical came back, they said no, we can't do it. So there's a little. I feel like there's other things that haven't been fully broadcasted about his injury and the severity of his injury, and that's why they said no. There's no reason for them to say no to that kind of player. You saw Lamar's reaction. You saw the other players on the team, their social media post, and how excited they were to have Crosby there. You saw the reaction of Cincinnati's Bengals, Jamar Chase, when he found out on a live stream.
Yes.
He said, how did we let him get to this division? How did we let that happen?
Because you have to think about this. Now he would have to go against Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, and TJ Watt.
Yeah. Still, nothing changed. They signed to Trey Henderson, someone that knows their offense completely because he practiced against them every week. So now they have to go against that. So I feel like that's a little worse than Max Crosby at this point.
Yeah, so you have that. That was the biggest trade. That shouldn't have, and it overshadowed the other trades because you had DJ Moore getting traded to Buffalo. You had Geno Smith getting traded back to the Jets, and Minkah Fitzpatrick getting traded to the Jets. So, I mean, I think this whole thing has kind of taught people, number one, keep your mouth shut. Your mouth shut until you get that
You gotta
physical.
let it follow through. Yeah, you gotta let it follow through. You have to.
My thing is, why announce it until, like, when you're, like, get the physical first? Like,
maybe they were just confident on them. They were confident.
But
they wanted the world to know. They wanted people to go on BaltimoreRavens.com, order a custom jersey that wasn't out yet. How many people you think ordered jerseys?
Oh my God, so many people. You know how many people probably ordered jerseys that said Crosby?
And they got it special made. They paid for each letter.
Yes. Let me tell you, custom jerseys were the bane of my existence. I hated making them when I had to make them. They are the most difficult thing to make because every letter has to be placed so perfectly. And then you have to spray a special adhesive. It has to sit a certain way, and then you have to press it. You have to press it, and you have to make sure you don't burn yourself.
How many custom jerseys did you have to remake in your day?
I never had to remake any because...
Congratulations. I wasn't expecting that. I thought the number was going to be a lot higher, honestly.
No, nothing. I never had to remake it, but it's so minute and it's so, like, perfect. So the fact that all these people ordered those jerseys and the people who make them probably like, man, look this, okay? I know they were pissed. Yeah. I know they were pissed. But honestly,
I just go ahead.
But honestly, like, NFL free agency has kind of been nuts. I mean, you have Kyler Murray now.
Before we get to Kyler Murray, there's something. What did I tell you last week, Autumn? What did I tell you last week? Do you remember when we were talking about the NFL? And I brought up the Kansas City Chiefs. And I told you what the Kansas City Chiefs needed. And that was a superstar running back. And what do they do, Autumn? What do they do?
I don't know, David.
They go and pick up the Super Bowl MVP. Super Bowl MVP. This is just it's manifesting that Kansas City championship I was talking to you about last week. They're moving in the right direction. They're moving forward. The planets are aligning, Autumn. That's what I'm telling you. The planets are aligning. As much as you disagreed, who is it going to be? Now look. I still hope they draft another running back, but they're not going to have to now. They might go cornerback. They might improve their defense. They honestly could go best player available at this point.
Do you think I care about the Kansas City Chiefs?
I know you don't. That's why it brings me so much joy talking to you about them.
I truly cannot stand that team. I don't like them.
Why not?
I don't like them at all. I didn't even like them when they were bad. I can't stand them.
What reason? What reason possible?
They just give me vibes of like, I don't like you. It's look. Does there have to be a reason?
Yes, there has to be a reason.
There are plenty of people in the world I don't like that they're literally. I have no reason. I just don't like them, and Kansas City is one of them. I just don't like them. It's not my cup of tea. I don't get it. Don't like their baseball team either.
Let me ask you this, Autumn. What kind of wager do we have to get going if the Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl next year? What kind of wager?
I want y'all to clip that again. Clip
what
it again.
Kind of wager?
Clip that insanity again.
Because it just keeps moving forward.
Clip this insanity
They're
again.
making every step.
Clip this insanity again because I told you this last week. I just told you that number one, couldn't care less. Number two, what did they do last season that showed you that they're Super Bowl ready? What did they show you in the Super Bowl the previous year that showed you? Hell, what did they show you in that season that they somehow, some way made it to the Super Bowl?
Name a better. First of all, they made it to the Super Bowl. How many Super Bowls have they been?
By the hair of their chinny chin chin, they made it.
Doesn't matter. Well, Dom Toretto once said, "Win by an inch, win by a mile." It doesn't matter if it was
Fast and Furious.
It doesn't matter if it was by a hair. It doesn't matter if they blew everybody out the water. Doesn't matter. They've consistently made it to the game. Last season, the best player on their team got hurt. They battled a lot of injuries. We spoke about that last week. But what are they doing for you right now? What are they doing for their fan base? They're giving them hope. And one thing we've seen with the Kansas City Chiefs, it does not take a lot for them to win a Super Bowl. They lost Tyreek Hill. Everyone was, they're going to implode. Absolutely not. What they do, they win and win another damn Super Bowl. And that's what we're going to continue to see next year. And every single time they make a pickup on them or a trade or something like that happens, I'm going to come at you with this kind of energy all the way up until they win the Super Bowl.
I could care less. I truly could care less.
Super Bowl MVP, Autumn. Just look at now. You see the red and yellow confetti falling? Do you see it falling?
About that team. I truly could care less. I don't care. You will never, ever, ever. Let me tell you the other reason why I beef with them. You said a wager. Let me tell you right now. I had faith in them. You want to know what I had faith in them in the Super Bowl 2 years ago? I didn't even bet that they would win it. I bet several little itty bitty things on them. Several things that they should have gotten for me. And you want to know what happened? Lost every single one of my bets. Lost all my money. So no, I actually do have parlays.
You were placing parlays and blaming it on the Chiefs?
Absolutely.
It's not their fault.
I blame them 100%.
You got to put together a better parlay.
You allowed me to lose money. I already don't like you. If you
allowed your damn self to lose money.
If I believe in you enough to spend money on
you probably were like,
and then you waste
Patrick Mahomes.
Money?
No, you were probably like Patrick Mahomes, 6 touchdowns, 500 yards. You were probably betting the most possible stuff. You put $1 on a 17-leg parlay. It was let's get rich.
Let me tell you right now, every single bet I placed in that Super Bowl had already hit during every single time I bet them this season. Every single bet.
Oh, so they've won you money.
Yes. That's why I'm mad.
So you're bitter off of one mistaken bet? That doesn't sound like a Chiefs problem. That sounds like a you problem.
No, it's a Chiefs problem. I couldn't care less about that team. I want nothing but the worst to happen to them.
That's crazy.
I'm a hater.
That's
I'm a hater.
Crazy.
I'm a hater.
All right,
I'm not even gonna lie.
We'll move on from that a little bit because there's another player that he's not necessarily a free agent. We just don't know where he's gonna go yet, and that's AJ Brown.
What's wrong with my brother?
What did your brother say? He
said about Tua, he's one concussion from becoming Stephen Hawking.
He's not wrong. So is Denzel Ward, though. But we're not going to continue to talk about that.
Again, Tua Tagovailoa, a man who leads with his head and Every time, by the way, every time he leads with his head, that makes me so mad because, like, and I didn't even tell you about this. You know, he had one off season. He had to learn how to fall because he didn't properly know how to fall and protect himself when he fell.
A lot of people. Joe Burrow didn't know how to slide when he first got to the league.
This was not this season, but this was before last season. He had been in the league for like 5 years when this happened.
Who? Tua?
Tua, yeah.
He's been in the league that long? 5 years?
Yes. He's been in the
No
league for almost
way.
8 years. Yeah. No.
Really?
Yeah, because he came out in 20. Because remember, his last season in Alabama, it got cut short because he broke his hip. So he went into the next. No, actually, I'm sorry. It's been 7 years. Because I'm pretty
6 years.
sure
2020.
it's been 6 years. Yeah.
2020 draft class. I'm like, 8 seems a little excessive.
I knew it was a long time though. I knew it's been a decent amount. But yeah, no, hey, he's him. But what do you think about the Browns' moves? They picked up 3 free agents, 2 on the offensive line. We know, of course, one of their offensive linemen is now gone with Wyatt Teller leaving. But so
I
far,
think they released Conklin.
yes, they also released Conklin. Joel Bitonio, I think, is also a free agent. Yes, I'm positive. And they have sort of still questions. Still like they need some answers. So, but what do you like that they've done so far in free agency?
So I mean, they're bringing in the hopefully O linemen that can play the game. I know we have a lot of sentimental value to some of these linemen that are leaving, like Conklin and Batonio, Wyatt Teller, but realistically, they're never on the field that much. I know Conklin played hurt a lot last season, but nevertheless, a lot of these guys aren't on the field. Yeah, they're great when they were on the field, but we never saw that. We never saw that. And I said this once, I'll say a million times. Best ability is availability, and our offensive line just wasn't available. Same with the other linemen we got from Ohio State a couple years ago. Was it Jawan Jennings? I feel like that's wrong. That's right. He again, when he's on the field, he's massive. He's great. But DeJuan Jones, thank you. But he can't stay on the field. So thankfully they're bringing in these pieces that are going to be able to play. Again, I mentioned this last week, the O lineman we got from the Houston Texans. He hasn't given up a sack since 2024. Like, there's a lot of great things happening right now for the offensive line. Given is the offense going to be able to put together some good plays, especially with the way our wide receiver room looks right now? I think that's the case.
I think that I talked about this on Wednesday on Jersey Tracers. Watch Wednesday 7:30. We talked about how we're kind of glad they started to get some pieces on the offensive line through free agency and not through the draft, because like you said, they drafted a couple linemen and it's worked out kind of okay, but not really okay. I think it's always a fear if you're drafting rookie O linemen. Either they could be Joe Thomas or they could be a freaking bust. Like, it's one or the other. So I'm glad they've gotten some players through free agency, but yeah, their wide receiver room is where they need to go. Like, they need to. Jerry Jeudy cannot be your number one. He cannot be.
He just needs to get out of there.
Be.
They need to figure out, send him somewhere else. I don't care if you get a 5th round pick for him. They got to get rid of him. He's an absolute liability. And especially being an experienced wideout, a veteran wideout, and you're going in with a 2nd-year quarterback, you need someone that's going to be reliable for that 2nd-year quarterback. He's young. He's going to have growing pains. He needs someone to throw the ball to. He needs a safety net. And right now he doesn't have that. You could argue that the safety net is the tight end, Harold Fanning. They can argue that it's Harold Fanning. But we saw when Harold Fanning gets overutilized, he gets hurt. You don't want to continue to do that because he wasn't necessarily getting thrown hospital balls, but like I said, the overutilization was weighing him down throughout the season. We need other options. Hopefully, they can get Isaiah Bond going. I just want Carnell Tate to be available, even though I don't think he's a long-term solution. I think he'll be a reliable solution for Shedeur.
Yes, I think he will be. I think that they really like in this draft, because the draft is coming up in probably like a month, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not even? Yeah. Draft is coming up pretty soon, in about a month. They definitely need to address that wide receiver. They need to address some of the O-line concerns. They kind of need to address the running back situation a little bit. They have their notes. They have what they need. But I think so far so good with what's going on right now. Outside of them, I think NFL free agency is not like basketball free agency. It's not like Major League Baseball free agency where it's like they're going to have these huge names and these huge names are going to go to these teams. They're going to make an immediate impact. And it's like, okay, these huge names are going to move. Let's see what they actually do. It's going to take them a while.
What's the biggest shock? What's the biggest thing that made you drop your jaw or were like, damn, he went there, or this is going on?
It's Geno back to the Jets, especially after how it ended.
But that's a trade. He didn't choose that.
It's still the Jets trading for him. That's again, we all know how it ended, and if you don't know how it ended, Geno Smith got punched in the face by one of his teammates because of a charitable donation. He got not only did he get punched in the face, he broke his jaw. Like he broke his jaw.
It's literally his swan song. He's out of there. Geno's done. I've already expressed to you how I feel about Geno. I never thought Geno was a good QB. When he was in Seattle, I strictly thought he was a product of the system. I said that last week. I still believe that. It's the most Jets thing to do to draft someone that didn't work for you before, given they have a slightly better team, but it's pointless for them at this point. The biggest shocker to me was Mike Evans. I was almost positive he was going to stay in Tampa Bay. I was positive. But now he's in San Francisco. He has Brock Purdy throwing him the rock, someone more consistent than Baker.
I think that's the Mike Evans. I think that's the Mike Evans thing of like he just wanted some consistency. Like he too has had his injury concerns, and he's going to a team that's always hurt, but they're always successful, but they're always in the playoffs. His last time in the playoffs was with Tom Brady. And even then, like it's been a while for him. It's been a while. And he's been in the league for a really, really long time now. He's been in the league almost 10 years now, which is crazy to say that he's been in the league almost 10 years.
Yeah, it's been in the league almost 10 years. That's honestly, that's the biggest shocker to me. I thought he was going to stay, especially with Baker. Maybe that raises Ibuka's value for next season. And it really makes it interesting. What are the next moves for Tampa Bay? Like, what are we going to see them do? Who are we going to see them draft? Are they going to go receiver again? I don't think they're going to get a stud like Ibuka this next upcoming season, but we'll see what happens in the draft. I'm excited to see it.
Honestly, I'm curious to see what a lot of these teams are doing. We know Seattle, of course, kept Sam Darnold. Signed him to a huge contract. We know a lot of teams are just reeing up, but I'm curious to see how some of these players fit. I'm curious to see about this damn Geno Smith situation because he's definitely going to start a game.
What do you think he's actually going to do there? Like,
I'm curious to see because you don't trade for that person to not start them.
Geno? I don't know. I don't know if he's a startable asset at all. I think from what we've seen last season, to me, it's like going from the Raiders to the Raiders or going from the Jets to the Jets. They're like the same team in my eyes.
They really are.
I think the Jets have slightly more talent with Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson if they can stay healthy. But I guess we'll see, Autumn. That's one of the glories of NFL free agency, we get to see how everyone gets put together and gelled together like the puzzle they are the following season.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, Travis Etienne Jr. He was, of course, signed with the Saints, and he said to pronounce his last name, it's A-Chan.
What?
A-Chan. So it's Travis A-Chan, not Etienne.
How's it
Travis
A-Chan? I don't think he knows how to pronounce his own name.
Yeah.
Is there a CH in there somewhere?
No, it's like
is it A-Chan, the guy in Miami?
That's what I thought. He said, but he apparently said it in a press conference today that it's Travis A-Chan Jr., not Etienne. It's Travis A-Chan Jr.
I mean, he's just inspiring to be A-Chan. He wants to be that guy. He wants to play like it. It has to be something else. You got to send me the link when we're off air because I need to see this. I need to hear it. But Autumn, we're running up against it, unfortunately.
Yes, guys. We are, again, thank you all for tuning in who have tuned in. Please follow the Inside Edge Network on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Listen to Jersey Chasers on every Wednesday. Listen to My Check Take Two every Friday. And also, please support us like we support you. Please. I'm begging y'all.
Again, everyone.
Go to allyrosefragrances.com and use the code InsideEdge20 for 20% off your order. And if you find another code, you can stack those codes. You can stack them up.
Yeah. Order the damn candles, man. Order the candles. They smell delicious. They're great.
They are great. But yes, please follow us wherever you get your podcasts and everything sort of such.
Yeah. It's been real, guys. I was your host, the DAVID, the real Ruiz, and we had everyone's favorite season, Autumn. Until next time.